Right now in the middle of taking out. Right now I'm in the middle of taking out this front box. This air duct. Just pop up the clips. 1, 2, 3, 4. Flathead. And this pops right out. As you slide out that box, the transmission filter is down there. It's right down there. So first I'm gonna drain out the transmission, and then I'm gonna change that out. Alright, so now disconnect the battery terminals, 10mm. Unscrew the other 10mm right here. Once you disconnect these two 10mm on the battery, this cover slides off. Put the cover to the side. Take the battery out. And the bottom tray. So I'm going to lift that out and catch back the video. Lifted out the battery tray with the battery. You get a closer look at the transmission filter down there. Looks like a 10mm right here on the top. And use the needle nose pliers to pull the clamps off. Pull this clamp off, pull that clamp off. But first I'm gonna drain out the transmission, and then go from there. Take out this 10mm. I'm gonna use a wrench to take the 10mm out, then pull the clamps off, then slide the old filter out, and then slide the new one in and reconnect everything. So right now what I'm gonna do is drain out the transmission fluid now. So the transmission drain oil fill bolt right here on the top. So I'm gonna pop that. That's a 17mm. Then I'm gonna go on the bottom with a 3/8 ratchet. What is going on with my camera? With a 3/8 ratchet. You don't need no connector, just like this. Put it inside the transmission and I'm gonna break it loose. So right now I'm gonna jack up the transmission jack up the engine from the side, and then slide under and drain it out. So I'm gonna go under the car, show you guys where the transmission drain bowl is, right here in the middle. So you just take the 3/8 socket right here. We'll put the 3/8 socket in. Okay, right, so right now I broke the bolt loose. All I did was put the the ratchet on, and then hit it with a rubber hammer, and then unloosen the drain bolt for the transmission. So right now, just gonna unscrew this. So the fluid, as you can see, it says 1 quart, 2 quart, 3 quarts, 4 quarts, 5 quarts, 6 quarts. So this will hold 6 quarts. So I'm gonna lower the car down off the jack stand so most of the fluid can drain out. Because right now I have it jacked up and all the fluid is like leaning to the right side. So I'm gonna jack up the left side of the car, the driver's side, so most of the fluid can drain out into the oil pan. So I can start on the taking out the filter after this fully drains out. Since it's on a flat surface, straining out here, and it's gonna drain out about 3.5, 3/4. It's leaning sideways, so that's why it's not, you know. So then I'm gonna jack back up the car, put the drain plug back in, then go from there. Transmission filter part number 25430-PLR-003. So this one is gonna go down there and replace that one that's down there. So I'm gonna loosen that 10mm, pull the clamps off, and then get back to video. 10mm bolt. It's holding the bracket that was holding the transmission filter in place. So push the bracket to the side. And then pull the mount out. Pull the transmission filter out. What I'm going to do is disconnect the hoses now with the needle nose pliers. Pull the clamps off and then go from there. Had to take out the whole damn battery tray. This was a 10 that goes here. Acura needs to be kicked in the head for this. It's 110 that goes here, 112 that goes here. Then you gotta unscrew this 10mm here, that plug that goes into this. And then the geniuses put another 2 bolts under here, 1 and 2, and then they put another one here. So 1 bolts into this here, and then the other 2 bolts into here. So you have to reach under the cover, under the bracket to get to it. Like this. So you gotta reach under the bracket. What I used was 12mm swivel head socket to get under there to reach to get those screws. There was, I think, the middle one right here that goes into it was a 10mm, and then these 2 were 12s. So you would have to reach under this to take this out. I had to reach under the bracket here to get to it in order to get to the bolts. See, it's like gonna be one here. That's what that one plugs into, and then there's gonna be another hole over there. You know, that's how they wanted you to do it. I don't know, that's retarded. In order to get to the transmission filter, I already have it out. I used the needle nose pliers and I wiggled the line off on both sides. So the bracket's already off. The little transmission fluid is draining out. This is the old filter. And this is the new one that I'm gonna put in now. So the new one sits in like that in the bracket. So I'll put the lines back on and slide the hoses back on, and then go from there. Put some hoses, I put some cloths under it to stop it from leaking all over the place. Wipe everything down and put everything back together and call it a day. Now I got the new filter in. Basically, oh man, I gotta wipe this down. The new hoses are they just slid right on. Just slide the new hoses on both ends. You use the needle nose pliers, clamp it. You push the clamp together and then slide it on. And that's what I did on both sides. And now that's it. Now I'm gonna put the clamp back on that sits here and tighten the 10mm bolt to lock it in place, and then put everything back, and I'm good to go. And just put everything back. So, filters in, like I said, I just put on the bezel here, and then the screw goes through here, the 10mm. So I'm gonna put in the 10mm bolt, and I'm gonna catch back the video. Filters in. So now I'm starting to put back in this tray, the battery tray. So this is a 12, and then this is a 10. Gonna screw those in. Then I'm gonna screw in the other bolts on the bottom. Yeah, this is a 12 and this one's a 10. And then I'm gonna start on the bottom and start unscrewing those screws down there. Or putting the screws back in here, and then put the battery, and then all the fittings back in, and then go from there. Alright, catch back the battery in. All I did was lift the battery with the tray and then just sit the tray down to sit it down. Then this cover goes over it, like so. Then you put the battery tie downs. Put one hook into there, another hook into this one in the back. Tighten down on 10mm screws. Air duct back in. Push the clips back in. This back in. So these clips are in. Put the battery terminals back on, engine covers, it's a new filter that's in, down there in the bottom, and that's it. You change your transmission filter. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm gonna do a finishing up video to check everything to make sure there's no leaks and everything, and to make sure the sound is going at startup. The gurgling sound, like a sound that you would get in the beginning when it started. It's not any of the pulleys, it was the transmission filter. This one was clogged, the older one, so I installed a new one. And that's it. I hope the video was helpful enough for you guys, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Peace. Down, it's good to go. A little bit of this fluid, this is from the transmission filter that I placed up top. So it's just a little, you know, a little bit in the plastic cover. It's nothing, no. Just wipe it down the best you can. That's it. So now I'm gonna drop the car. Since this is tight, the washer's good. Now we're gonna refill it. Alright, I'll catch back the video. Took out the dipstick that goes right here. Instead of taking out the drain bolt, the fill bolt right here, to take it out, instead of taking that out, you could just fill it up here from the dipstick. So that's what I'm gonna do. Fill it up with a funnel. There's a funnel right here, this long funnel I have in my Amazon store. So if you're interested, you can pick it up in my Amazon store. I'm gonna put in 3.5 quarts. Oh shit. Spilled some. So I'm gonna fill this up and then catch back the video. what happened was, as you filling it up through the dipstick, the automatic transmission dipstick, fill it up very, 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 very slowly because it'll bubble and come out. It kind of made a little mess down there. It kind of spilled on the bottom a little, but that's from filling it up here and not through the fill bolt up here. But if you can't get that fill bolt off, because some people have a problem with breaking it loose, I broke it loose already. I just want to, this is just another way, another option. This is 17 millimeter, so you could just break that off with a 17 millimeter and a breaker bar. But if you can't get that off, or you don't have a 17 millimeter and a breaker bar, you can fill it through the dipstick. But when you fill it through the dipstick, make sure you fill it very, very, very slow to get all the quarts in. So you need about 3.3 quarts or 3.5. You can look on the side of the bottle. It'll show you, you know, how much is left in it, you know. So you could just do half would be 5, you know, will be 400 would be half. So you could just stop at the line because it shows you how much fluid is in there on the line. So right now, just checking for leaks. I'm gonna start the car again. I just started it, so now I'm gonna check it again for you guys, to show you guys. Don't have to put the key in the ignition. I can just technology package. Or it beats like that. So as you can see, there's no leaks. The filter's right down there. It's not leaking. It's good to go. Dipstick is in. It's not leaking there. And you gotta check the bottom on the side here. Leaks. This is the drain bolt here. No leaks. As you can see, it's nice and tight. A little bit of the fluid leaked down into the cover on the bottom, but that'll rinse out after a while. I might just take a hose and spray it under the car just to clean out some of the transmission fluid that got into the plastic pan underneath of it. Well, I might just leave it. It'll come out while I'm driving or whatever. But yeah, showing everything is good. Let me check. Check the dipstick level. So it has to be between the two dots. So it's in now. Yep. It's right between. So this is good. Good to go. Alright, the job is finished. Change the transmission filter out. Put the new transmission fluid in. Air filter might need changing. I've seen the air filter inside here. It needs replacing. I'm going to replace it when I get a chance. But don't check engine light inside. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And enjoy. Peace. And comment.